Yeah, it's easy as one, two, three, using correct strategy. Greetings, brothers and sisters. This is Professor Soul School Phenomenal once again coming at you in the Soulskool'n classroom. You know, uh, we're going to get right to it. Subject for today is using correct strategy. Using strategy, period. Because so far we haven't been using strategy. Uh, Allah always sends a prophet or a messenger to warn us of what's going to happen if we don't start using our righteous mind. So a lot of us pray for a divine intervention to come in and straighten out our lives, but he has already given us numerous of times divine intervention uh, by sending down the prophets and the messengers. And here in the United States, the black man and the Native American and all the darker people that were prisoners of war and were using a word like slavery uh, really don't describe. It was even worse than prisoners of war because we have been uh, struggling and over here for more than 400 years to get our freedom, justice, and equality. And um, in these serious times, we're stuck in the same old mindset. Now, what I'm trying to get across to you is that um, say Marcus Garvey, he had a good strategy, but something broke his strategy up, whatever he was using, and caused his movement to dwindle really. And then the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, Master Farad, was our divine intervention because he came and gave us ancient knowledge of self, God, and the enemy to the little brother, prophet, messenger of Allah, Elijah Muhammad. And not only did the most honorable Elijah Muhammad give us an example, he gave us a blueprint. He gave us strategy on how to uh, incorporate military, uh, a militant presence in our spirituality, and using the teachings of Master Farad Muhammad. And he was the only one that wasn't right out assassinated because he was divinely protected to get the people into a frame of mind where they're beginning to know their self. And then his length on the planet uh, was, you know, to me, it was cut short. But he left ministers to carry on, and all the brothers, even Wallace D. Muhammad, and all the brothers now, Mr. Farrakhan, and Minister Eric, and all the Farrakhan's ministers. And I want to say this to Minister Eric while I'm thinking about it. I don't think the messenger would have dealt with your dislike of Farrakhan and uh, the Nation of Islam. I think you should use the messenger as an example. He don't bring stuff out so the white press or the media or the white ears could hear, the Caucasian ears could hear, you know, I don't know why you're doing that. That's what Malcolm did to the messenger when he was displeased with him. Now, stuff like that, that divide uh, the nation up, because we get a whole lot of brothers in the nation that's probably in the splinter groups or branched off that's not pleased with the minister. But, you know, I don't hear none of them coming out talking about it like you do, you know. And I don't think that's, even though you're on the YouTube doing it, and I don't think that's the right strategy, brother. And I think that, and you don't hardly hear Mr. Farrakhan uh, talking about the brothers that dislike him. You know, maybe I heard him. Him and Khalid. They had a falling out, but he didn't diss. It was dignified. He didn't diss Khalid. It was dignified. The same with the messenger. It was dignified, and he's saying that he told the brothers, as long as you follow the restrictive uh, laws of Islam and using the supreme wisdom, the lessons, and even the nation of gods and earth, you don't hear them dissing, uh, even though Clarence X was they man. You don't hear him dissing Elijah, you know. So either, I'm not accusing you, but to me it would seem like maybe you working for the enemy. You working for the Caucasians, coming straight out. If you got any problems with Minister Farrakhan, you know, go straight to him, you know, and try to talk to him about it. Another brother I heard used to diss Minister Farrakhan was the Son of Man, and but he even did it in a dignified way, uh, which I don't think that none of you brothers, should publicize your dislike over Mr. Farrakhan. It seems like y'all fighting over who got the most members so y'all can get some money out the people. And that's what it seemed to me like right now. Sinetta and Sarah Susan Seti, Polite, and the Nawabi movement and the Moors, all y'all fighting over membership, followers, and y'all using this white man's dollar. You remember when Dick Gregory said that the dollar goes back to he got a video out where he said that the dollar goes back to the families, the Illuminati families. That's what the dollar is designed to do. He's sitting on top of the gold and silver and all the precious metals and all the resources. And what he's doing is keeping us fighting amongst each other over those dollars that's going to go back to him anyway. Because you got to pay for electricity and gas and energy and different things to run your household. And because you get everything from him, you don't make nothing yourself. We don't make nothing ourselves. We don't make our own money. So, it's brothers that know that, and they know that you're not going to never wake up. So they say, why not, I do for myself, because they ain't got enough sense to do for themselves. Remember the story I told about the eagle that landed in a coop full of chickens, a baby eagle, and by him getting raised up by the chickens, he never knew he was an eagle and he could fly and never learned how to fly. He was a superior bird than the chickens, but he would never know. And that's how we are over here. And mostly all the darker people around the world are raised up by the Caucasian, and he came after all of us on the planet because we made him, we produced him. So we, right at this point, we're not using the correct strategy. Relating to the game of chess, if you notice that most people, a lot of people don't play chess, but those of us that play chess, you notice the pieces on the board and what their functions are. You got the pawns. Most people don't value the pawns. They use pawns as sacrificial pieces. And then you got the rook or the castle, and then you got the horse, or the knight, and then you got the bishops, who's the advisor to the king and the queen, and then you got the queen, and then you got the king. Out of all those pieces, the king moves the less spaces. He only can move one space at a time in either direction, and really he's helpless. And the queen, she can move as many places as she wants to, but she can't jump over pieces like the knight. The knight could jump over enemy lines. And so we're gonna, I don't know if I have enough time left on this video, so I'm going to post this on YouTube, and I'm going to give a series on strategy. You know, I said you got black power in my last video, but you don't know how to use it. Then I gave a reference to soul power equals black power, because you got to have a soul. You can't be bought out. You know, they can't buy your soul. You know, which are they doing to most of the ones that's in leadership positions and got the most followers? You know, that's why I believe Allah reserved my life until the age of 70, and I was born in 1946 at the end of World War II, and before the beginning of the Korean War and the Vietnam War. See, and so, and then also, my mother was carrying me while she was attending the meetings at the nation, you know, and she became an MGT. And when I was born, I automatically was born in listening to the teachings, because my uncle, I believe he was a lieutenant or a captain in the FOI, and him and Malcolm was real tight, and he always schooled me. Every time I spent the night over his house, or every time I came over there, or every time he came around the family, he always was, you know, hitting me up with the teachings. And even though my mother broke away from the teachings, and I started going to, you know, regular school, elementary school, and started listening to the streets. But in the back of my mind, I would always hear my uncle teaching. So we don't got much time for this video for me to get into really heavy things, but it's going to be a series of videos after this one called 1, 2, 3, using strategy. Peace.